What's on scene?
All right, as I was pulling up, they just struck the second alarm on Harvard Street. Just struck the second alarm. Heavy smoke, heavy fire. Firefighters said fast attack. They struck a second alarm. So there's gonna be a lot of engines and apparatus coming down here. They just struck a second alarm on Harvard Street over here.
W12, you have it.
Like I said, they just struck a second alarm on this one, so you're gonna have a lot of apparatus coming over here very shortly. You already get.
Engine 16 to replace engine 17 at civic. 2244.
Those overhead wires are always challenging when it comes to get the ladders up there, because you only can get the ladders so high.
Got an idea of the second option.
You got the drone up in the sky right there.
Ladder 24, an unknown vehicle, 200 Charles Street, Boston. Ladder 24, an unknown vehicle, 200 Charles Street, Boston. Near Xbox 1356 Charles Street near Blue Street, 2248.
Yeah, Chief, attic looks like it's knocked down. She's got it down.
17, attention engine 14, cover station 17, 2248. Dorchester, 231, alarm level 2, a structure fire, 158 Harvard Street, Dorchester, nearest Fox 339 Harvard and Glenway Street, 2249.
Each one to operation.
Still got a little bit of smoke still in the attic. Look like the heavy fire is knocked down. Just like overhauling to get the hot spots. And it's really cold out here, guys. So to be on the safe side, they struck a second alarm. You know, see all the apparatus that responded. Somebody said that. I thought I heard somebody say 15 people being displaced. I'm not too sure if that's the number or not, but I thought I saw that message go across, but I could be wrong. I don't know everything. Engine 42 comes all the way from Columbus Ave. I believe 23 is Grove Hall. I could be wrong. Get a little smoke coming out the top. Nothing. I wasn't gonna come out to this one, but figure I might as well hit this last one before I turn it in.
Three lines running charge. Everybody is not. Companies overhaul and check for extension. And they make up some of the second alarm companies.
Command, you report on box 339. 3 lines. Heavy fire is knocked down. Overhauling.
Like I said, they got a fast attack on this one. Someone called in fire. They didn't have exact location. They said fire being seen coming out the third floor of a building on Harvard Street in the vicinity of, I think they said something 52 Harvard Street. I couldn't make up the numbers on it. So they struck the box saying that they got a couple of calls, people saying there's smoke coming up from the third floor on Harvard Street. So they didn't have an exact location, but they knew it was on Harvard Street.
You reach out to the MBTA, send the bus in here to house the displays. We're up to about people, including children.
Command, where do you want the bridge?
Stand by, fire alarm, if you could just get the bus going. I'm going to send a place for them to stage.
And I don't know if that house had fire alarms and smoke detectors, but I didn't hear anything going off in there. Usually that's the first thing you hear when you get to a fire. You hear smoke detectors, you know, chirping, beeping, whatever. I didn't hear any of that, so that's why I always want to emphasize, make sure your smoke detectors are working. They're going to give you every spot, every space that you could think of where someone could sleep or you can have storage. You should have a smoke detector there. Even if it's in the attic, you should have a smoke detector, at least 2 in the attic. I cannot emphasize that enough. That's going to give you your early warning alert to get you up and get you out of the house as quick as possible.
Come down Bradshaw and take a right onto Gleason. They can stay. No. Number 6. Number 6.
So they, for the most part, they got the heavy fire knocked down. Some of the companies are overhauling and making up.
We'll have them stage at 6 Gleason Street.
You can smell the, as I was coming down Glenway Street, I believe that's Glenway Street, I seen a thick haze of smoke. And then you can see it all the way from the top of Erie Street coming down that way. So you knew there was a fire in the area for sure.
52, shut down 18.
Still got some smoke coming out the top there. You guys can see that. Probably got to put a lot of water up in there just to vent that out. Reignite it. Just reignite it at the top up there.
Shutting it down now.
It's catching back on fire. There, put some water in there quick.
4200. Yeah, Mike, you bring your crew and come back here. I'm going to get you guys for the
Yeah, put some water on that for that. Start going back up again. Yeah, you got to get a line on that quick.
52 pump, repeat that message. 52 officer. 52 to 52 pump, can you charge our line back on, please?
They should never shut the line off. Like, why did they have to? Why did they even shut it off? That wasn't even out for you to shut the line off. Yeah, you gotta get some water on that quick. And you can't really get the ladders any higher because of the power lines. They don't allow you to get right on top of it.
And 6 minutes.
For the MBTA, have them come up Harvard from Blue, and we have a perfect spot from 61 Harvard Street.
They're gonna charge 52's line in a second. They're just getting it all situated so they can charge it.
You're good. No, you're good.
Backing up 42. So they're gonna stage the bus over here. They got some water up there now.
Hey, let's let you go straight.
I guess they put them on this bus for the time being. They're on this Eastern Bus Company bus right now. How's it going? For the most part, the fire is knocked down, or was knocked down. Like that attic, that whole that what's that area called up there? The ridge cap. That whole area needs to be like hosed down real good, because you can see the smoke coming through the top of it. Sometimes the best way to put that out, you got to put it from the inside out. Like you can put water on the outside of it, but a lot of times you got to actually physically get inside of it and blast water from the inside out. That's how you can get all that out of there. like I said, those power lines make it maybe challenging. Like if those power lines weren't there, they could probably get that ladder up at the top.
Gary, we need to get that car moved here. I'll call it right now, Brian. Okay, we're all set.
So this bus driver was nice enough to have the people get on their bus so they can stay warm until they get a transit bus here.
Grab your screw and come back. I'm going to release you guys. If you have a message. Okay, I'm done. Down 9, the roof was clear. Feel it wrong.
Bus 1792 is en route to the MBTA. ETA is 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay, and the message. Thank you.
2306.
For the most part, the fire is knocked down.
Operators to car 9. Car 9, yes, let's send FIU up to you. You can show them what you're talking about? I got that.
I guess they could bring the T-bus right up here on Harvard Street, coming from like the top of the outside. That'd probably be the easier way to get it up here. The good thing is everybody got out. Nobody was injured, so that's always a good thing. Yeah, tree branches are making it difficult too. Trying to get up the ladder where you got power lines and tree branches in the way. That's not easy. Like I said, the fire department got multiple 911 calls for smoke coming from a building in the vicinity of, I think they said 252 Harvard Street, if I'm not mistaken. And then, and that's what we have so far. Hey, how you doing? All right. So that's what we have so far. I try to get a location of this area in a second. As soon as I get a chance, I'll try to walk by a building so you get a general idea of what's the closest address to this. Right now we're at Harvard and Gleason Street. But once they start making up, then I'll see if I can show you a number on a building. You got to give the fire department credit. They get there within maybe 3 minutes. They're right on top of it. So from the time the box is struck, they're in there about 3 to 4 minutes tops, and they do their thing. So this is 150. This is like 158 Harvard right here. Oh. This is 158 Harvard. Like I said, we don't know what caused this fire. It started up in the top floor. Could be anything. They have to investigate it to find out what happened. Look like there is people living on that top floor. There's definitely air conditioners and stuff in the windows up there. So somebody was definitely living up there.
Attention ladder 16, cover station 53. Attention ladder 16, cover station 53, 2314.
These kind of nights you don't want to have a fire. These cold nights like this is
Cover station 17.
not good.
Attention. Cover station 17, 2314.
I guess he's gonna try to go inside and help them get some belongings out of there. I guess they ran out with just what they have on, so he's gonna try to help them get some belongings out of the house. And I mean, I don't know, like, how do you help homeowners get smoke detectors and make sure they're working properly? I don't know if there's any classes. Well, the city of Boston offers fire prevention, but how do you get them to follow and do the right thing? Because a lot of people don't understand English. They don't understand like what they're supposed to do. Or is there like, I think our city councilors should be part of that. I mean, isn't that the city councilor's job? Yeah. The neighborhood liaison will be one person, but the city councilor will be the main person to do that in their district. Pass out literature, meet with people in the neighborhood. That's the city councilor's job. That's not the mayor's job. That's the city councilor's job in their district. Knock on different doors, be familiar with the people, tell them what you do, help them with the resources. That's what city councilors are supposed to be doing. Neighborhood liaisons do it as well, but city councilors, I mean, if you want people to vote, you better get your behind out there and do the work. Stop doing all that silly stuff. And you know what the silly stuff y'all are doing, so stop that and start working. There's a lot of stuff that the city councils are doing that they shouldn't be doing. Passing bags in the bathrooms and stuff like that, and other stuff they're doing. So I guess these firefighters are going to help them get some belongings out of there.
52 to 52 pump, shut us down.
I was going through every scenario in my head.
And if you live in a certain district and you feel your city councilor is not doing something, let me know. I'll put it out there. I'll make it known. If you feel your city council is not quite representing your community, just we'll figure it out. A lot of people are like, they're not dressed for the weather. I heard there's 15 people displaced, so I don't know if it's actually 15 or not.
Thank you.
Some elderly, some children. It might be 15. It's quite a few of them, so it could be 15. He's telling them they can't go to the attic. They only can go to like the first and second floor. They can't go to the attic. He's got the tough job. He's got to disconnect the power to this. He's gonna get in that bucket truck and try to disconnect that loop. That's going to the other house though. That's not even going to that house. The one on the house is on the other side.
Cover station 39. Attention ladder 18. Cover station 39, 2319. Attention engine 14. Cover station 14. Attention engine 14. Cover station 14, 2319.
Commander car 9 or 81. Go ahead. Yeah, it's a family game over. Could you ask the people that you're with to grab some clothes for the children? They'd like to get some clothes for their children. I wouldn't allow them to go up. Okay, is that floor 2? Yes, floor 2. Here we have that.
Let's see, where is the power line going to that building? Do they have a power line going to that building? Because I don't, unless it's on the other. I have to look real close. Oh, I see it. It's coming from the left side of the house, going across to this pole over here where the firefighters are. It's kind of a long run, but they ran it that way. You can't really see it, but if I zoom in, it's right in the center of the camera. It's right above that fire truck. And it zooms across to this connection up here. Right where that firefighter's at right there. It's right up in that area. First cameraman on scene right here. It's always a good sign when they're taking the ladders down. That means for the most part the fire is knocked down.
Answering command.
I'm going to transfer command back to car 8. C7's returning. Most of the second alarm companies are made up and returning.
Command, your report on box 339. C7, you're returning. Transferring command to car 8. Second alarm companies are making up and returning. 2326.
And they're bringing the ladders down now, so they're still going to be still up there investigating, try to see what could have caused that fire up there. And the one thing I noticed right off the back, I didn't hear any smoke detectors going off at all. And usually, like, when you get to a fire that size, you hear smoke detectors going off on all the floors. And so that tells me they didn't have any smoke detectors at all. Or if they did have them, they weren't operational. But these resident liaisons, you know, like, since they do a census, right? And this is very simple. You know how many registered voters are in the state of Massachusetts. You know how many are inside the city of Boston, how many in your district. The reason why you know that because you do these polls so often, you do these census. Now, I would agree the census are not accurate, but you do know how many houses are on each street. So how I'll go door to door, knock on each door, find out how many people live there. Do they have adequate food, shelter, housing, assistance? Because somebody should be doing that. Like, if we're paying all this tax-paying dollars, whose job would that be? Like, whose job would that be? Somebody. You know how many kids go to school. You know how many addresses come up on your charts for different locations for school. So you have all the information at your fingertips. It's all there. You're just not utilizing it properly. So you got different ways of finding out information, but you're not utilizing any of it. There's so many different ways to, I mean, for example, people pay their property tax. When they pay their property tax, right, you're assuming that that's a house is occupied, and it comes up listed as a 2-family, 3-family, 4-family, whatever. So right then and there, you know you're getting money for that location. So go there and check it out, see what it's all about. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? All right. I'm going that way. Like I said, we're not too sure like what happened, but we do know that the top floor did have fire and heavy smoke coming out the top. So the first apparatus, I believe, was 52 on scene. They started a fast attack, and then the box was already struck at that time, so you had apparatus coming in there automatically, and not even, I don't know, 5 minutes into the fire, they struck the second alarm. So, for the most part, the fire is down, knocked down. I'm not too sure if the chief is going to do a speech. Sometimes he does. We'll check around and see. It's only me and one other cameraman out here, channel 5 to my left over here. I believe his name is Anthony. I always mess up his name. I think his name is Anthony. I could be wrong. And it is cold out here, by the way. So this water is going to start turning into ice very soon if they don't put some... That's the other thing. So if they know there's a fire, active fire in the city of Boston, and the temperature is a certain temperature, why doesn't the city of Boston automatically disperse or dispatch a sander out? I mean, that should be common. It should be automatic. Like, I mean, they should have the resources to utilize those and say, send a sander out. They have them stand by, so when the fire department clear out, it's gonna put some salt down. Like, that shouldn't be, you gotta call them to come out to do it. It shouldn't be that way, because they should already know there's an active fire. So as the fire clears out, come back with the sander. I mean, that'd be your tax-paying dollars working correctly. Then they should automatically clean up any debris on the sidewalk after the investigation is done. Clean all that up, put it back to normal. But that's too easy. That's too easy. In the perfect world, that would happen, but or a good mayor. We always had discussions. So we had a discussion today about the mayor's responsibility. Now, someone was saying you can't blame the mayor for A, B, C, D, and all this stuff. But no, the mayor takes on a big responsibility. So this is how this works. her job is to make sure everybody else is doing their job. So if she put the proper people in place and give them the right instructions, everything will work effectively. Now she should have an assistant, which I believe she does. So the assistant should be making sure that her jobs and her guidelines are carried out properly. And I mean, then like the city councilors, now when they sit down and talk, they should make sure that the government is structured the proper way. So now that everybody got the right resources, everybody's district is being treated equally and fairly, got the right, things being done. Now, and then you can go from there. But if you're not doing nothing and you're just talking about, I don't know what they talk about, stuff that don't make any sense. But the schools ain't getting any better. The crime's still in the community. So what are these city councilors doing? They're getting paid a hell of a lot of money for doing nothing. So I heard some of them are getting $120,000 a year. Imagine that times what, 8 people? That's a lot of money right there. And what are they showing for that? We still got potholes in the city. Street lighting is bad. We still got crime. So where's that money going to again? I don't know. Interesting though, right? I hope nobody's doing the brown bag act in the bathrooms like the other one was. I would hope that's not happening. But they're doing Cash App now, somebody said? They're doing Cash App, I guess. They're doing it Venmo and Cash App, doing it a different way.
Columbus Avenue and Center Street, Roxbury, nearest box 2272 Columbus Avenue, Center Street, 2332.
That's how teamwork right there. Teamwork makes the dream work. Like I said, for the most part, the fire is knocked down. Companies are making up. A lot of holes. They ran their hose all the way around the corner.
53. Cover station 53. Attention engine 53. Cover station 53. 2334. 4. Cover station 14. Attention ladder 4. Cover station 14. 2334. Tower ladder 3, Central Station along 225 Franklin Street, Boston. Engine 10, Tower ladder 3, Central Station along 225 Franklin Street, Boston. US Box 1228 for Light Franklin Street, 2336.
How's it going? All right. For the most part, like I said, the fire's knocked down. And, fire investigative team here inside there. Check and see what they can find up in there. So a lot of the members that are displaced over there by the, they're still here by the bus. I guess they're waiting for a transit bus to show up. So I don't know what's going on with that. Probably gonna call the Red Cross and help them get some housing so they can get, you know, you just gotta help them find housing somewhere. The Red Cross will put you in a hotel for a couple of nights until you can get some kind of shelter. Like I said, it doesn't seem like a lot of damage, you know, depending on what they say they have to do to put the house back in working order. Like the bottom floors don't look like they were damaged, more water damage than anything else. The top floor looked like it suffered a lot of fire and water damage up there. The city of Boston has, you know, certain guidelines how they want you to do the house over. Second cameraman just arriving, but he's better late than never though. He's making his way over here now. They have guidelines. They're like I don't quite know all their guidelines, but they have certain guidelines that they you must have been on the other side of town somewhere.
What's that?
You must have been on the other side of town somewhere.
I was on my way to Linfield.
Oh, Linfield. Ah, damn.
I was like all the way up in like.
I knew you was far away because you normally be quicker than that.
No, yeah. There's a fire up in Linfield. They were starting me that way.
Uh huh.
And then I'm like, this one came in, so I had to turn around. I was running.
Oh wow. like I said, for the most part, fire's knocked down. Companies are making up. They're gonna be cutting the power. They're probably gonna get a bucket truck up here to disconnect that service line going to the house. Like 52 is ready to pull out. I usually try to hang around until they clear out. At least some of them clear out. They might have a detail that stay here a little bit longer, but usually wait till most of them stop pulling out. That's old ladder 4. That must be the spare now, but I guess it's the old ladder 4. I don't think it's the regular ladder 4. I think it's the spare. $23 is gonna be out here for a little while anyway, because they're still up there investigating what's going on, so they're gonna be up there for a little while. 24, they might be the two that hang around. For the most part, the fire is knocked down. I think they're supposed to bring a transit bus up here, but it might be around the corner. Other than that, there's not much else to see. They're focusing on the front of the house, right up in that area. So up in the ceiling in that area right there. So that's what they're focusing on. If you guys can see that, yeah, up in. Something's up there. Not too sure what's up there. Could be wires, could be anything. Alright, I'm getting ready to head up out of here. I just want to show you a little activity. Nothing major, but catch you on the next one, my man. Yes, sir. They're doing a firefighter group picture over there.
Engine 20, cover station 20.
It is cold out here too, so a lot of this stuff is gonna freeze up. Look at that blocked off down there. If they don't put no salt down here in the next like 30-40 minutes, they're gonna have a collision. Oh, the T-bus is over there. That's where the T-bus is at. It's down further down Harvard. Good thing I parked where I parked at, because if not, I would have been kind of blocked in. And I learned that from some. I'm not gonna say I learned it from. I learned it from somebody. They say don't park your car too close to the scene because you will get blocked in. So the transit bus is down there. National Grid's over there. Alright guys, we still got Harvard Street blocked off over there, further down. They got a good section blocked off. They got down here blocked off too. They got quite a few units blocking off different locations. Alright guys, we need to fix this box though. That's damaged on there. It's basically the little protector that protects the somebody got some shoes on the ground. I'm not sure what that's all about. Alright guys, catch you guys on the next one.